bringing in Valentin, who is going to talk about, I think it's going to be about the RFM model and which we touched on earlier, right? Yesterday, some people might have heard something RFM, and then like we moved on to a different subject, and everyone's probably like, what is that? Or maybe I'm not, doing marketing the right way. But Valentin, how's it going? You're muted right now. If you want to unmute yourself, I'll add your slides to the deck, and I'll honestly, I'll just get out of your hair, let you take it away.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Derek. And hello, everyone from Bucharest, Romania. I'm glad to be here with you. My mission here is to help you get leverage from your existing customers. Of course, we're going to touch the RFM subject. RFM stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. And to be honest, I'm obsessed about this segmentation method, and I'm glad to spread the word about it because I've used it on my own e-commerce since 2011. So that being said, let's start. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have 20 years of experience. I'm currently leading Omniconvert, which is a tech company. We have 8 years in the space. We craft data-driven solutions, and also we provide managed services for e-commerce companies. And I'm also an instructor at Customer Value Optimization Academy, which is an education endeavor, which we started just this year with the purpose of educating e-commerce professionals about the impact of customer lifetime value. What's the problem that we all have? As we've heard earlier, the CPM on Facebook is skyrocketing. So in 2020, the CPM on Facebook has doubled since January to December. But that means we need to understand how to craft traffic, how to generate traffic. And the common growth e-commerce formula states that in order to grow in e-commerce, you need traffic, you need conversion rate, and you need average order value. But that's not only it. So mainly this is not the most comprehensive formula. And as Jay Abraham states here, there are only 3 ways to grow any kind of business: increase the number of clients, increase the average transaction per customer, and get each customer to buy from you more often. Fact is that the first and the second are overused and not moving the needle on the long run and in such a competitive landscape. So the actual growth e-commerce formula that we all need to be aware about is actually this one. We have number of customers, which are being brought here by the traffic and by the conversion rate. And then we have the ratio between how much we are keeping from a customer, which means customer lifetime value throughout its entire lifespan, and how much we are paying to acquire that customer, which means customer acquisition cost. So mainly that leads to growth. And in order to understand how impactful this formula is, we can look at the way Amazon plays. So the average customer retention rate for Amazon is 93% for Amazon Prime. So while for the average e-commerce companies, the retention rate is actually 23%. You can find many other benchmarks over here on our own e-commerce benchmark, which is based on 1,500 different stores which are sending data to our platform. So that means if we look at the impact of the existing customers, it's pretty high. So this is an example with the average. So the share of the revenue from existing customers throughout the entire database that we have is around 70%. Meaning that existing customers matter, because one ideal customer profile, which are your best customers, will generate margin as much as 376 low-value customers. So as time goes on and as customers are coming back, you will see that the margin that they generate is incredibly high. So the actual growth e-commerce formula, we should understand it and we should take it into account. So let's recap. The ad costs are surging. On the other hand, the existing customers matter a lot. So let's see how to leverage the existing customers better. So the first thing that I'm proposing to you, as Derek actually asked me to do, is to segment your customers using RFM. So let's explain a bit what RFM stands for. RFM is an acronym which stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. So recency means how recently the customer bought from you. frequency, how many orders they placed, and monetary value, of course, was the total customer lifetime value of those customers, meaning that we are segmenting the customers based on various scores. So we give scores, for instance, in this case, this is a snapshot from our own platform. We have score for recency is 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. Score for frequency from 1 to 5 here is 5 as well. And if the score for monetary value is 5 as well, we can have here the soulmates. Not too many of them, as you can see in this example, but they are the most profitable. While we also have other type of customers like lovers, new passions, the ones which are just starting the relationship, starting to buy from the shop, and also ex-lovers, customers that used to be the lovers, but as time went on, you can see that they are now treated as ex-lovers because their recency score is the lowest. So mainly we want more of this, and we want to make sure that they are not transforming into ex-lovers, right? So in order to do so, we need to segment them properly. So as you can see over here, there are various types of customers. So this is the distribution of the revenue, margin, and share of customers. And in this case in particular, the soulmates are generating 30% of the revenue, while they are only 5% of the customers. So these are the ideal customer profile, and bad UX and poor customer experience and nothing will, let's say, beat them. So as you can see here in this GIF, right? So these are your ideal customer profiles, and those type of customers you need to acquire. But to acquire them, you need to understand who they are and do research. So this is the first way to leverage your existing customers. Then the second way is to build lookalike audiences based on your power customers. So your power customers are, as you could see earlier, the lovers, the soulmates, or the new passions, right? The best customers and the most loyal, the ones that are almost like the loyal ones, and also the ones that have the highest potential. We're gonna talk a bit about them in a few minutes. So the power customers could become the seed for the new customers that look like them. And also Facebook are stating this on their own help, that if you have a source audience between 1,000 to 50,000 people, you can build a lookalike audience, but source quality matters too. For example, if a source audience is made up of your best customers rather than all your customers, that could lead to better results. So mainly that's how you build lookalike audiences, and not only by looking at the best customers in terms of how much they've spent, but also how active they are. So that's why you need to segment the customers based on the RFM, so that you can build lookalike audiences based on your soulmates, the lovers, and the new passions. And how to do it, first, you build the audience based on the soulmates RFM segment. You launch the lookalike campaigns on Facebook, then the Facebook algorithm finds more users like the best ones, like the soulmates. Then these are attracted by high relevant ads for them because they look like the customers that bought over and over again, and they are directed to the website where, of course, some of them are being converted. But the others, which are not converted, you can do remarketing on them. So eventually, that's how you feed the flywheel of growth, by building lookalike audiences based on the RFM. Then the next way, you can trigger evergreen winback campaigns that work on autopilot. We are hearing this over and over again. We don't have enough talent people. We don't have enough time. There are too many things to do at the same time. So these type of campaigns are, you set them and then you forget about them and they work. So how you can do this is to focus on things that matter. So you can craft campaigns based on, for instance, the product, the brand, and categories. So instead of having generic lookalike audiences or custom ad campaigns based on everything that everyone has bought, you can look in particular for particular products, brands, or category. That depends on how big your e-commerce is. But if you build these types of audiences, you can do this type of approach, right? Instead of looking at all the products, you can filter the products that they've bought also in terms of the share of the revenue, so how many customers are buying, but you can be smart. So you can also look at the willingness to recommend, like the net promoter score of the customers that bought a certain product or brand, and also the return rate. So for instance, in this case, the product D is the best one by far, because even though it doesn't have a high share of revenue, you can expect the customers to actually keep the product, love the product, and continue to use it and stick around and buy again. So mainly that's how you optimize based on this framework, and that's how you build audiences only for customers that bought that particular product. Next, you build audiences based on the RFM group. So for instance, let me show you how RFM works. We have the new passions, right? They have the highest recency, so they bought, let's say, in the last 30 days. They have already from a single order the highest monetary value, and also they have the lowest frequency because they bought only once. So there are only 3 ways to change the behavior according to BJ Fogg. By the way, I love this guy and his work, so make sure that you follow this guy and read his book, Tiny Habits. So there are 3 ways to change the behavior: have an epiphany, change the environment, and create tiny habits, right? So we can't make our customers to have an epiphany, but we can change the environment, right? We can change the context, and we can make them create tiny habits. So that's what we need to do for the new passion. So let me show you how time goes on for the new passions, right? So they placed an order, the highest revenue, as I've told you, and we have 100 of them. After 30 days, 5 of them are placing 2 more orders, and these are the lovers. They are turned out automatically, tagged as lovers. Then another 20% of them, 20 of them are becoming potential lovers because they placed only 1 order, and 75 of them are not doing anything, right? So they keep the same label as new passions. But as time goes on, after 90 days, if they don't place any other order, so let's say 70 of them, they don't place any other order, they are automatically labeled as not to lose. If 10 of the potential lovers are not placing any order, they are keeping the same tag. If after 90 days, out of the potential lovers, 15 of them are placing another order, they are automatically transforming to lovers. And if the lovers are placing 2 more orders, they are becoming soulmates. So this is happening right now on your website without even knowing, without even realizing it. But mainly customers are slipping away, and some of them are behaving differently. So after 6 months, for instance, some of them are becoming Don Juans because they've had the highest potential and they dropped, right? So they haven't placed any other order, even though they've had the highest revenue. 13 of them are becoming ex-lovers, right? Because out of the soulmates and the lovers, the 13 of them dropped. Then 16 are lovers and 6 are soulmates. So the idea is to treat everyone according to the relationship that they have with your brand. So it's time to think and to understand how these mechanics work. Because if you send the same campaigns, the same spray and pray campaigns to everyone, then you don't move the needle. You can't change the behavior of your customers if all you are doing is the same thing. But if you realize it, and now that you are aware about this type of movement throughout the RFM groups, you can act like this great guy like George Costanza, right? So you can run and understand, okay, what can I give to my best customers? So in order to understand this, I have built this support material for you, and I'm happy to share the presentation with you, the slide deck. So you can build scenarios about how to incentivize the customers, which are among this group as new passion, based on different incentives. And then you can realize how much you can afford and what their gross margin uplift should be so that you can break even with your type of customers, because you can afford to pay more to customers that deserve that and to customers that you want to keep. So that's how the cookie crumbles. Then another type of segmenting the customers is based on the NPS score. So you build audiences based on their NPS score. So for those of you that don't know, NPS stands for Net Promoter Score. You can have three types of customers: detractors that they are not willing to recommend you. They give you a score from 0 to 6. You can have also passives. They give you 7 and 8. And you also have promoters. The trick here, and we are supporting this in our tool, is to analyze NPS pre-delivery and post-delivery, right? Because pre-delivery means how are they willing to recommend your products after they place the order, and post-delivery is after they've received the package. The idea here is that if you look at NPS and RFM, then that's going to be amazing, because you can have pissed off customers that are also loyal. So you don't want that to happen. So you can build an audience that it's evergreen. You build it automatically. This is being pushed to Facebook. You decide there what kind of message you give to the customers that are pissed off and that are loyal, and then that's it. You set it and forget it. So you can do this type of approach, but once you do it, that's it. So you get the pre-delivery NPS. If the customer is a top customer and he or she gives you a low score, then you can trigger an alert to the customer service. You can build another set of ads. You can run another set of ads on them, and this happens automatically thanks to the technology. So you can find this blueprint on this address if you want to see it. And another type of segmentation and automated campaigns are based on the customer's location, right? So if you look at the data, for instance, this kind of data can be found in our tool. You can see the density of customer type based on the state or province or city. So you can see that the penetration of the most loyal customers in this case is, I don't know, in London and in Leicester or in Nottingham. So this type of report allows you to understand where should I accelerate my spending, because in London, the customer lifetime value is higher, or in whatever city you find on your own e-commerce, or on whatever country you find it. So what you can do at this moment, and we've empowered our customers to do it, so you can decide to filter your customers like this. Last RFM group is XYZ. Last order has been placed in the last 60 days. They've bought from a certain brand or a certain SKU or from a certain category. The NPS is 0, 6, or it's a detractor, and they are coming from London. So this is automatically being calculated, and you can send this audience to Facebook, and then you can export the list, or you can send it to Klaviyo, so that or another email marketing solution, so that you can build this type of campaigns or on autopilot. So going further, the next type of leveraging your existing customers, you plant the retention seeds on the thank you page. So that means to understand what is the purpose of the thank you page. So what the customers want to know on the thank you page: was this a good decision? What if they don't send me the product? When will I get it? What if I want to return it? And so on. But what almost all of us are thinking that the thank you page must contain, it's a thank you for your order stuff. Your order is number XYZ. In case you need help, here's how to reach us, and upsell options. But the problem is that is something which is called the buyer's remorse. So it's the sense of regret after having made a purchase. And most of this type of cognitive dissonance, called the buyer's remorse, you can find more about it on Wikipedia, are emotional stuff. Like this type of buyer's remorse are appearing. Few of them are concerned over the deal, and few of them are, I wonder if I really need this product, so wisdom of purchase. And you should prevent that, so that you can prevent them from returning. And in order to do so, that's what a thank you page should contain. Was this a good decision? You treat it with client testimonials, product reviews, our points of difference, and a creative shot of dopamine if you're creative enough. Then what if they don't send me the product? Here are client testimonials to gain trust. Here is the estimated delivery time. Here are our points of difference, and here is our return policy. When will I get it? That's the estimated delivery time. What if I don't like it, and if it's not good for me? That's for the return policy. So mainly you need to address those type of questions if you want to plant the seeds for customers to return, because they will have their objections treated in advance, before even verbalizing, before even articulating. So these type of thank you pages are the ones that that work, like in this for MAC Cosmetics, right? Cynthia, you are seduced, complimentary shipping on all orders and free returns, whatever. So but there are also boring thank you pages like Nike, right? As you can see here, they are doing exactly the opposite, because they are too big and they simply don't care about you as a smaller brand. You should be caring about any touch point on the customer journey. So the top 3 things to achieve with your thank you page: 1, make the customers feel good about their purchase and confident, give them clarity over what's next, and plant the seeds for the future orders. So you can invite them to your community, invite them to subscribe to your cool newsletter, ask them more about their needs. So now it's time to understand where you stand. So rate yourselves on all those 3. Make an honest research on your thank you page and give stars from 1 to 5 how much you are treating all of those free needs. And the next way, it's a bonus for me because I've been fast enough, is the unboxing campaign. So this is the single marketing campaign with 100% open rate, right? Because people are buying and they, of course, they are unboxing to get their product. So this is a moment where you can place this Trojan horse, right? If you don't know about this story, it's a legend. It's actually amazing. The soldiers were being, some of the soldiers which couldn't conquer Troy were placed in this Trojan horse, and they've been sent as a gift after a lot of years of war. So the Trojans were amazed about, were surprised about it. They got a gift, and voila! In the actually in the box where it was a surprise, and that's how they've conquered Troy. So several reasons why you need to consider inserts in the packages. 1, you respect the under promise and over deliver principle, right? People are surprised, and the surprise gives them dopamine and a good feeling about your brand. 2nd, the package inserts can be cost effective. Then you can personalize the inserts for only for specific RFM segments if you are also doing RFM segmentation. So you can decide, okay, I can afford to give a small sample or a small gift only to the loyal customers, or only for the customers with high potential, like the new passions. Another reason, the cost of delivering the message has already been paid about the customer, right? The transport. You can do cross-sells that are highly relevant to the existing customers. Package inserts are also a great way to get rid of products that simply don't sell. So you instead of throwing them out, you can give them away to customers that will actually appreciate it. Then the 7th reason is that effective inserts are increasing the customer lifetime value, and that can be placed on autopilot. So mainly you don't have to think about it. You set it and forget it. So types of the inserts that you can place over there: thank you letters, discount coupons, surprise gifts, books that you actually can send to them, product reviews invites, product samples, a product catalog for other cross-sell sales, and also bookmarks. Actually, Amazon has put bookmarks over there. And I can show you here a great example that you can see from Chewy.com. So this is a small gesture having a big CX impact. So this is actually a testimonial from a real customer. So I recently placed an order on Chewy.com and forgot to add the coupon code. This was my first time, whatever. Fact is that they have sent them this card and also the handwritten card, and they also happily credited the customer back. So mainly they've give them credit, and that means another order and also a satisfied customer. So how to decide over what kind of package inserts you need to choose? You have on this axis, you have the usage, and on this axis, you have your cost. So how expensive is the insert, right? So we have the lowest cost. Let's say the lower cost is bookmarks. Then you can have coasters or hats or t-shirts or wine opener or wallet or watch, right? So these are some examples, but you can also look at the usage, right? For instance, that's why bookmarks or wine openers are good package inserts, even though that because they have a high high usage. So you can build this on your own, and you can decide over what kind of package inserts to send by using this simple decision matrix. So last customers are quiet in the meeting rooms, right? They are the elephant in the room. In order to understand why they leave, you need to ask yourselves, and you need to survey them, and you need to take them into account. So mainly, that was my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. I have also a gift for you. Reveal, it means segmentation on steroids. We capture first-party data, we send it to Reveal, and then you can put on autopilot all sorts of actions on Facebook, ad networks, Klaviyo, on Explore to do website personalization, or on SMS tools. So the idea, the backbone of the platform is the RFM and NPS, and you can push this data to any other platform. So if you connect with me on LinkedIn, I can give you a very, very friendly treatment, and you can get Reveal to use it for free. You just need to connect with me on LinkedIn. And I also have a proposal to you. If you want to get more educated on how to leverage your existing customers and how to increase customer lifetime value, we have built a free course. You can find it on our Academies page. This is the link. I'm happy to. You will be getting this deck from Derek, I think, and you can find everything you need over there. So thank you for your time. I hope I was quick enough, Derek. I don't know if
Good
there
timing,
are questions.
yeah.
I'm still here.
No, this is perfect, and I'm just scrambling over here to get all the links. I've linked your LinkedIn here so that everyone can connect with you there. The link directly to Omniconvert is also in the chat, and then the link to the CVO course is here as well. How can we say no to a free tool that's going to help us optimize our campaigns based on what maybe might have been brand new to people, optimizing based on the RFM model? I loved that image of yours where you're showing how people are moving from kind of one segment to another in real time, because that's happening right now for any merchant doing business. Somebody is moving into an ex-lover, and somebody's moving into like a passionate lover situation. And I love seeing, I love thinking about that, because every time somebody changes buckets, you kind of have a new opportunity to work with them, strengthen the brand connection, or re-engage that brand connection. So it's just fun to think about. This is what, as a marketer, I kind of get excited about. So thank you so much. We'll be sure to plug all those links as well in the show notes. Are you guys following along in the show notes? This is a great way to stay on top of all the ideas, tools, and tactics that you need to do for your business. Valentin, thanks so much. We're going to move right into our next session.
Thank you. All the best from Bucharest.
Yeah. And thanks for staying up late for us. Thanks again.